evening. And we were looking for the best. And yes, we found the best to speak on today's topic, mental health for everyone, greater investment, greater access. May I now invite Dr. Peter Castellano, our chief guest for today's evening, to please throw some light on today's topic.
Amanda, I don't think that I am the best, number one. But I mean, my hair was literally standing up when I was listening to you. And I think you are the hero over here. I think you are a great inspiration. I think, there's some disturbance in the background. Can people mute their mics? It's kind of someone whose mic is not muted. Yeah. So I think there's so much to learn from you. So much about determination, about grit, about purpose in life, and something about how you, as you said, when life throws you lemonades, how you kind of make a difficult how you turn a difficult situation into something very positive, and you not only look at yourself, but you're also looking out at the community. So, hats off to you, Amanda. And I think you are an inspiration, and we need more people like you who will be the voice of mental health. It's no more something that the psychiatrist can do. I mean, we are a very limited lot, and we are sometimes a very closed lot, I would say, in our own minds. But we need people like you to come out and to speak out, and that's, I think, the real victory. When people don't feel ashamed to talk about it in a world that speaks, in a world which has barriers of taboo, of stigma, and I think your testimony should be inspiring to so many people to seek help, not only for themselves. I would say mainly for themselves, so that they get a sense of purpose, a sense of dignity, I would say, in spite of having an illness which is so taboo. And I think once you have that sense of dignity, then you can exude that confidence to others, and then you can speak it out. And I think this is something which you have really taught us today. And I think you are the chief guest of this function, not me. Yeah. So having said that, I would like to thank Mood Cafe for inviting me to be the chief guest. I mean, it's an honor, and I always love to speak on this topic. I always love to connect with people who are affected as well as their families. I mean, it's been my work since the last 25 years, and I have similar experiences to share, where the founder of our organization also has bipolar disorder. And it was she who met me when I was still a resident, and we set up Cooj. It'll be 20 years now that we've set up Cooj, but she also had, or has, I would say, bipolar. And I have another inspiring story where another trustee of ours, she was a family member of someone with schizophrenia, and she taught me a lot. In fact, if anyone made me a better psychiatrist, I think it is my own patients, and it is the people that I've worked with. And she taught me one thing. For me as a psychiatrist, in those years, it was the patient came to me, I checked them out, I wrote them a prescription, and I sent them back. But then there were certain people where we felt that they were, that we could never do anything about them. They were just there, and it's best not to focus our energies on them, but let's focus on someone who could do well. But this mother, she never let go. She never let go. She went to every doctor in town and across India. She went to every rehab center, and she tried every method or every type of treatment. She tried allopathy, she tried homeopathy, she tried Ayurveda, she tried aromatherapy. For someone who had chronic schizophrenia, and in the category that you would actually not do well, but she never let go. And then she realized that I cannot find help outside. I need to be the change. I need to be the change, and I need to set up a system in which my son could then find hope within the system that we set up, and he would find himself and he would find comrades, he would find friends. So what she did is, instead of crying that there is no help, that there is no system, that there is no treatment, that there is, instead of being that grumbler, she actually began to just set up something. So she met me. We set up our Vasco Center of Cooj, and I think this woman has taught me so much. Uh, she taught me about persistence. She taught me about the holistic approach to mental health issues. She taught me never to give up. She taught me to appreciate the smaller changes that you find in somebody and appreciate them, because that will matter to that person. And she taught me basically about life. And I think mental health is all about life. Recently, her son passed away. He passed away during this pandemic time. He passed away, but because of physical illness. And even though he was someone with chronic schizophrenia in the category that would not do well, she, even in the end, she allowed him to have the dignity of making a decision for himself. And that is something I think has left me with a sense of the way I would now begin to approach not only my patients, but every human being. Respect, dignity. That is so very important. And never put ourselves on the high pedestal, because we do not know it all. And life is all about learning, and the learning never ends. So today on World Mental Health Day, I mean, I love this theme. The theme, it's so, initially when I was saying it's so big, it's so ridiculous. Mental health for all, greater access, greater investment for everyone, everywhere. Oh my God, it's got too many elements. But I would like to take in the first element, mental health for all. And I think the battle is over here. And I think the battle and the biggest challenge that all of us face is in the understanding that mental health is not mental illness. That mental health is something that we all enjoy. It is something which we all need. We all have dreams. We all have aspirations. We all want to make it in life. We have we want the best for our children. We want to make money. We want to live in a nice house. We want to drive a nice car. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But what is it that will drive us to achieve this? It is our mind. It is our mind. And if we really do not look after our mind, then we can have the best bodies. We can look the best. I mean, I could be Mr. India for all you know. But if my mind doesn't work, what is the use? I'm just a lump of flesh that has no direction, that has no personality. So it is my mind that gives me my personality. It is my mind that drives me to achieve. It is my mind right now that is making me think, perceive, listen to you, talk. It's my mind that gives me the judgment of what is right and wrong to be able to make a right decision. It is my mind that gives me life. And if I do not take care of this mind, I am going to be a goner. And I think, again, Amanda, taking from Amanda's talk, we need to also understand that mental health is a continuum. So it's not that, yes, I may have good intelligence, but to be honest with you, my memory sucks. I mean, I literally have to revise and revise and revise. And I think now when I go back, as a child, I had AD. I had attention deficit. I couldn't concentrate. I would be like looking around here and there, and I would be making those paper balls and throwing them. Until today, my teacher said me, "You were a restless kid." And I said, "Yeah, now I understand that I was not naughty, but I had AD." I mean, I've trained myself so that I can be more focused today. But I still have to struggle when I read. When I read, I have to read a page again and again before I actually get the concept. So I don't say that I have a problem. Yes, I mean, I do say that I have a problem. but it's in my problem with only attention. But my intelligence is good. My capacity to decide is good. But that is something, my capacity to decide, I had to train myself. It just didn't come in naturally. It's not that I was born with it. I had to go through life's experiences. I had to learn from my mistakes. I had to challenge myself every time I fell down to rise up. And that is what we do. Like someone asked a question, how do you keep your mental health? It came up on the chat. How do you keep your mental health? First of all, you need to understand the various aspects of your mind. So the aspects of your mind, your thinking, your ability for language, your ability to decide what is right from wrong, to judge, to make good rational judgments, to be focused, to have a decent memory, to perceive situations as they come in and to learn from them. So this is what makes your mind. Of course, there are many other aspects, but when we do our mental status examination as psychiatrists, this is the kind of structure we follow. This is what I'm telling you. So you have to understand that each one is unique, and maybe we are very good in one, but we may not be very good in another one, and that's okay. No one is perfect. But I tell you, what helped me grow as a person is when I went in for therapy for 3 years. Yeah, I went in for therapy. And I didn't go in for therapy because I had a problem. Really, genuinely, I did not have a major problem. But I went in for therapy only for one reason, and that is to know who I am, to understand my defense mechanisms, what makes me tick, what makes me get angry, what makes me behave in a particular way. I just needed to know myself. And I tell you, when I knew myself, it was such a liberating experience. It was such a liberating experience because I could talk to somebody who would call a spade and tell you, Peter, this is where you're wrong. And I say, no, this is not I'm wrong. You are jealous, and that's not, you are trying to pull me down. And she would tell me, no, you have a problem in this, and you need to work on it. And I said, okay. It was hard hitting. Sometimes the reality hurts. The truth is painful. But that took me through a churning process. That took me through a process of understanding who I am. And that began my growth. So when you understand yourself, and that's when I began to, okay, this is where I need to work on, this is where I need to work on, and that was liberating. So mental health, what makes it people believe, what makes the fine line between mental health and mental illness blurry is because of the word mental. I mean, people just, even now as I'm listening to you all, and I was listening to your presentation, I'm really sorry to say, but I found a few areas where the confusion between mental health and mental illness was coming in, and that is because that's the way we have learned it from society, from the messages we get into our minds, from the films that we see. There is the whole thing of the word mental is associated straight away with mental illness, but no way. Mental health is something that we need on a day-to-day basis. So the origins of mental was because mental was a synonym to madness. Mental was a synonym with something which was abnormal, which was crazy, which was far away from what was seen as normal. So we need, and one of the points if we have to educate society is to educate them that mental health is an integral part of our being and we need to respect it. And when we say mental health for all, we all have it. So it's not that we don't have it, we all enjoy it. And we need to thrive on it. We need to understand our mental health and we need to build on it so that we become better human beings. And that's, it's like we know it. Like I know a very close relative of mine who I grew up with. He could never study. He was such a restless soul. He failed in the 7th standard, in the 8th standard, in the 9th standard, in the 10th standard. Finally, his parents got so fed up. I mean, I'm sad to say this is in my own family. They paid to pass him in the 10th standard, and then they paid somewhere he passed in the 12th standard. But I tell you, today he works in the Federal Bank of the United States. Shocking, right? Shocking, because what he couldn't, he's such an intelligent man, I am no way in terms of his intelligence. I cannot even come close to his intelligence. His intelligence, he's resilient. He can make a negative situation into a positive situation. The only problem that he had was he was restless and he had an emotional lack of control, over himself. So if he got angry, he would not get angry. He would go into a fury. He would actually go into a fury. But as he grew up, that settled down. As he grew up and he became more aware of his reality, he began to train himself to build his concentration. And what he lacked in getting a meaningful education, he trained himself. He trained himself, and today he's very successful in life. I mean, he travels business class around the world. I still travel economy. He pays my ticket sometimes. Thank God for good relatives like that. And we have so many examples of people who have been resilient, people who have risen above in life to take on these challenges. And that is what a good mental health does. And, and the fallout is, yes, now when we look at greater access and greater investment, and I would still like to talk about greater access and greater investment in terms of positive mental health, not really in terms of illness, because I think that that's what all of y'all are doing, and y'all are doing a fantastic job. And really, just getting people together to speak out their problems is enables one another, helps one another, supports one another, and that's what y'all are doing. But when I look at greater access and greater investment, I think it is in breaking the stigma so that people will reach out for help earlier. Greater access in exactly what Amanda and her team is doing right now, and what the people in my team did, and what so many people have done, where they take their challenges and they make it, they help other people, where we stop crying, where we become the catalyst for change and we help people. So I think that is where each one of us can do our bit in society. And that is what I think are the goal of this World Mental Health Day, and what people are trying to say. Uh, uh, yeah, I I think my 15 minutes is up. I, I'm not sure. Who's moderating? Is my time up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
My time
we
is
are
up.
not timing you, but
I'm so sorry. I can go on talking, and I need someone to tell me stop. So all the best to you, all the best to Mood Cafe, and I would love for us to team up on programs, Cooj and the Mood Cafe together, and because we also run support groups for people with dementia, we run support groups for people with chronic mental illness. So we can team up and we can work together, because that is where partnering helps. Partnering, working together will help. And I'll just give you another example. It's like for years, the psychiatrists have been trying to break the stigma of mental illness for years. But then here we have one person, Deepika Padukone, who comes up, who shares her testimony. One interview on NDTV changed the face of the world, changed the face of
Dr. Peter,
yeah,
unmute yourself.
yeah. Dr. Peter, please unmute. You're on mute.
it can sometimes also break us. So we need to keep our feet grounded, and we need to be humble at all times, and that will take us to a better place. Okay. I do not know where I got muted, but I was just saying thank you to the Mood Cafe for inviting me. Congratulations to you all. And if I'm allowed to make a little announcement, at 6:30, the Psychiatric Society of Goa, along with Cooch, we are having an event where we'll be talking on mental health through films, and we'll be having a discussion on the various aspects of life, okay, connected to mental health. So I've shared both Dr. Priyanka as well as Amanda both have the posters. I mean, you could share the link for those who would like to attend that event. Yeah. All the best to you all, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Peter Castellano. That was really a very good talk, I would say. I did see your videos before on YouTube, but this was really live and very inspiring. And yes, as you said, the topic, the first time I read the topic, I found it quite tricky, like what exactly it means. So, yeah, but mental health for everyone, for all, does stand out in that topic. And thank you for throwing a lot of light on this topic and inspiring us. Thank you. And now moving forward, what is mental health and why is it so important? Why are we celebrating it? We have the best person to answer our questions. So may I invite the guest of honor for today's evening, Mrs. Lavanya Patel, to please talk on mental health. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I think I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yes. So my dear happiest, luckiest and smartest friends, happiest evening on the celebration of World Mental Health Day. And my sincere gratitude to all the dignitaries of Mood Cafe, Dr. Priyanka, Rupali ma'am, Dr. Wilson, and Amanda, the bravest girl and the hero of the event, right? For organizing such a beautiful webinar. You are doing fantastic job and glad to meet such a great personality, Dr. Peter. I'm so much happy to be invited over here. So now the point is, why suddenly the whole world is so much active for talking about the mental health? Because we all together facing one example, and that is the exam of COVID and lockdown.
I didn't get
right?
all of that. Try asking a different way.
So this one paper has changed the meaning of our lifestyle, our thinking style, our working style, and it has put a big question mark of our pre-designed definition, what is health and what is called happiness. Because during the lockdown period, a lot of experiences are very new experiences as a practitioner, because suddenly, because our bank balance was perfect, the future plans were perfect, the children's examination and the future, everything was very well settled. Things were going very nicely. But suddenly, financial crises are there. Insecurity in job is there. Unemployment is there. A lot of anxiety is there. People are becoming so much panic. What next? Depression is there, and first time after getting married, so many couples are facing each other for 50-60 days continuously, and that was the reason for breakup, because that is the first time they've realized, my god, my wife is such a nagging wife, because it's better that I'm just working at office most of the time. But first time the discovery was there, and so many cases of breakup or separation. Couple are staying in one home, but both are in the separate rooms, right? Separation is there, sleepless nights are there, poor concentration is there, and we are facing a lot of acidity. So many things are there. Now tell me, it is the problem of COVID or lockdown, and somewhere it is the question mark on our mental health, right? It is there, we need to ask, because it is now documented. WHO 2020, 450 million people out of 750 total million people, 450 are suffering from mental disorder, and depression is the second largest disease worldwide. And we are sitting here, and 1% in every 4 is suffering from depression. And during this lockdown period, 20% rise is there in the mental sickness, and 75% mental sickness is occurring before 24 years, and 50% are showing the first sign of mental sickness before age 14. Mr. Narendra Modi is feeling very proud, and we are also very proud. We belong to the youngest country in the whole world. And if this current ratio is going on, and still if you're not talking about or understanding about the mental health, and we are not consulting any mental health professional or experts, and we are going to some kind of jharbuk and some bahari hawa, some witchcraft is there, it means it's a crime against humanity. Here we are not talking about any mad people. We are talking about us. We are talking about our children. We are talking about our spouse. We are talking about our mama and our dad. Because we love them, because we care for them, because their life matters to us. So what do you mean by health? Because it was very much decided, if I'm not sick, I'm healthy. If you're not sick, that doesn't mean you're healthy. Health means the state of physical well-being, the state of mental well-being. You are feeling good about yourself, you're feeling happy, you're contented. The state of social well-being, you're connected to the people so nicely. And the state of spiritual well-being, you're connected to the self and connected to the Lord, the person, the creator, with whom you are getting created. That is your health. It means your physical, mental, social, and spiritual well-being. And what about mental health? Mental health means what? This is every health, physical, social, and spiritual, but the foundation is mental health. And what is the seat of the mental health? That is your mind, which is working 24 hours. Day and night, without asking you whether you are sleeping or you're awake, it is still working and serving, because it is designed to serve the boss and it is doing its work honestly. But the problem is, we are not giving any instruction to the mind, because that is the genie. If you're not giving any command, it will start thinking randomly. Whatever is coming in the social media, the person is saying something bad to me, someone is criticizing me, and whatever is happening in the news, it will start jumping all these things inside. And I'm thinking, my life is like this. No way. It's a factory. Daily 70,000 thoughts are there. That is my production. And if I'm not in the starting giving the quality, it is just a render. And in the end, in the night, I'm totally confused what sort of person I am, because I'm judged by everyone, but not for myself. So every single thought matters to me, because either it is making me or it is breaking me. And when I'm thinking something about you, you are having BMW and I'm having only Honda City. One single thought, and then jealousy, then competition, and then a lot of negativity will be there. And if I'm not stopping at the right time, my 70,000 production is in the same way of jealousy, insecurity, inferiority complex. So where I'm going to do? That is the power, because my single thought, nothing to do with you. My single thought is impacting on first my brain, then my chemicals, then it goes to thyroid, then respiration, then heart, then my digestive system, then my urogenital system, and then musculoskeletal system. That's why it is documented 80% diseases are psychosomatic. Starts from here, ends from here, right? So I'm just giving you one case to get the better understanding. Just few days back, one man of 32 years, he was having a beautiful family, a family of businessman, and he was having very small daughter, 7 years old. Somewhere he got the doubt that my wife is having an affair. And once that is there, then regular fights are there, then a lot of arguments are there, then anger outbursts are there. and afterwards sleepless nights. And then for the last 5 months, he has stopped going to the family business. And what happens next? Sitting at home, started smoking because it is justified. Having a lot of drinking. And twice police came at home for domestic violence, but somewhere it is sorted out because the family was very well-to-do. Then after some time, the same person stopped talking to the family, stopped talking to the friends. One night, he was having a little bit chest pain. People took him to the hospital. All the diagnostic tests were there. And then he found he was having severe diabetes, then thyroid problem was there, then cholesterol was there, and he was having severe acidity. Again, one day, again, a very big fight because of this affair issue, and the wife left home, and in the rage of anger, he hit the glass wall of his home, and severe injury was there, and he got operated for 4 to 5 hours, and now he was taking 3 months continuously physiotherapy and coming for the counseling session and for psychiatric treatment. Now see, one thought of doubt, anger outburst, behavior pattern changed it. Domestic violence is there. Diagnosis, all the physical ailment has started. And then self-injury is there. And what comes up? Only the treatment. So that's how only my thought damages my life and my near and dear are totally getting disturbed. So what is the need? Need to check your mental health. And what are the criteria? How can I see that I'm mentally healthy? Only 4 criteria. You need to check yourself on these 4. Ek bhi kam hai. Only one is not there. It means we have the probability to get into the mental sickness. What are these? Number 1, you must be aware about your own abilities. Where you are good at, what are the best things in you, that is the abilities, you must be aware about it. Second is, once you are totally aware, you must be productive every day in your work, means you are progressing every day, evidential based. Third criteria is, if you are able, you are progressing, but the challenges you are facing in your life, are you able to cope with that? That is the third criteria. And the fourth criteria, whatever the abilities you are having, are you there to serve the society? If 4 things are there, you are very much capable, you are progressing in your company, but you are not able to face the challenges in your life, somewhere that mental illness is prone. If you are doing this much also, but you are not serving the society, that is again the probability of mental sickness. So we need to check on these 4 criteria where I'm lacking. And one single thought, that thought is the seed. One toxic thought will create the chain of toxic thoughts, and you're not aware when you're stuck in the rat trap. Very simple. We are listening all the time these type of thoughts and the words. I'm good for nothing. No one loves me. Why it happens to me only? Nobody understands me. Don't know whether I'll be able to do it or not. Will I get tested corona? One single toxic thought, you are not aware. In 3 hours, 4 hours, uska kaam hi hai just continuously thinking. But this is the seed. Now the branches are there and the fruits are there. It's only you are supposed to eat. It's better. Choose what sort of seed you want to put inside your mind, because we need to check only 3 times. First, check and change. At where? First level, at the thought level. If you are little bit upset just for a minute or 2 minutes, it means you go check what I'm thinking. It must be an absurd thought. It must be a curse for yourself. It must be abuse to your capability, your competency. Go check and change. That is the first level. If that time you're not doing that, it is going to come up in your feelings. Sometimes everybody is enjoying, but you're not feeling good. You're moodless. Again, go and check what is going on inside, because that is the second gate. Still, you have the possibility to go check and change your thought. And third level. Third level means that is your behavior pattern, because if it is not stopped here, if it is not stopped in the mood level, then it is going to come in your behavior, because every absurd thought, every negative thought is giving you the signal, boss, do something for me, I'm restless. So stop, check and change. And once it comes into the behavior, it means now your performance is getting disturbed, your relationship is getting disturbed. So anyhow, we need to check at the 3 levels, right? So I'm just giving you in the brief, what are the warning signs? Because if we are very much aware what is happening inside me, what is happening to my family, to what is happening to my child, immediately I'm able to take the help. If the person is eating and sleeping too much, abusing alcohol, drugs, and tobacco, fighting more with friends and family, if they are trying to hurt themselves, they are feeling so much fatigue without any reason, feeling no interest, no enthusiasm for so many time, and feeling helpless and hopeless. Lot of sadness, irritability is there, anger, exhaustion, anxiety is there, frequent mood swings are there, and they are not able to do the routine tasks. So these are the signs. If it is happening, the alert must be there. But what happens? People are very much ashamed to connect to the mental health professionals, right? But the question is, what should I do if I think I have that mental health issue? How can I help a friend or family member? If you see any sign or any symptom, you talk to the loved one and encourage them to seek experts' help, because these are the mental health professionals who have spent their whole life in studying how to help the people who are troubling themselves from the mind, from the heart. They are not able to change their thoughts. Their thoughts are totally in disorder. This means they are not in order. They don't want to think negative, but still the thoughts are popping up, popping up, popping up. It's out of control. So these mental health experts are the experts to train you, to teach you, to help you how to get back to your life. So find an mental health expert. And who are these? Psychologists, psychiatrists, counselors, and they are the experts in that. They are giving importance to the foundation, that is mental health. If you're not giving the importance, we must be ready to pay the price in terms of physical illness, in terms of lot of financial losses, in terms of loss of relationship, and in terms of it could lead to a chronic medical condition. And what psychologists do? So simple. They do some screening test. Whether you are having depression or not, whether you are having mild or moderate or severe. So you'll come to know how long will you take, whether you'll take 1 month or 1.5 months or 2 months. And with medicine, only 6 months, a lot of hope, because this is the road to recovery. This is the road to recovery. To at least have mercy for yourself. Because when the treatment is there, when the people are there to serve you, so how can we stop ourselves to take any help once we need it? But few people are there, few, the majority of the people, they are not connecting to mental health professional. Reasons are so simple. Amanda has already told all these things. One is stigma. What people will talk about me. Second, mental illness happens to only mentally weak people, or it could be the work of witchcraft or something else is happening from outside. Third is, it is irreversible. Once it is happened, it is happening for every time, the whole life, which is totally myth, totally wrong. Preventive measures are unlikely to succeed, and medicines have a lot of side effects. It will lead to addiction, it will induce it. All these are myths. Morning, I was just talking to the patient. He's from US. For the last 6 months, his stomach was totally upset. Severe acidity is there. And for so many days, he was not able to sleep properly and he stopped going to job for the last 2 months. But still, he was not willing to take the medicines. And the fear is, I could get addiction. Oh my God. You will get addiction. You will get side effect. If the side effect is there, the 1 case in 1,000 patients, it could be only the dry mouth, the constipation. 99% effect is there and you're worried about the side effects. Use some mind, use some logic, right? Because if the thing is there to support, every medicine is to cure yourself. But don't abuse it. Use it under the supervision and it is going to help you a lot. So please have mercy for yourself. Don't take it as a taboo. But last, I'm giving you the 5 key factors so that you are always prevented from mental sickness. Always. How to remain happy, how to remain always healthy. That is the goal of our life. So what should we do? Only 5 things. The first is doing exercise continuously, 40 minutes rigorous exercise, because we are supposed to take bath twice, one from the body wash and one from our sweat. If the person is having 2 times bath, remember that during the exercise, the rigorous exercise, the happy hormone, the endorphin is getting released, and these are the happy hormones which is making you happy, not your friends, not your family, not other people are making you happy. Your happy hormones, it is getting created by exercises, and that's how you are happy. You need friends, you need relatives, because you want to share your happiness. You don't want that to get the happiness. You want to share your happiness. That's why the first thing, exercise to develop, to create, to release endorphin hormone, because that creates the intoxication of happiness. Second, incantation. Incantation means whatever the vocabulary you have, choose the best powerful words for yourself. Like, I'm confident, I'm magnet, I'm awesome, I'm luckiest, I'm the healthiest one, I'm the best, I'm electrifying, I'm dashing, I'm smart, I'm gorgeous, I'm on the top of the world. These are the words designed not for others, for yourself. And once you get ready to the office, first stand in front of the mirror, keep your eye contact with yourself, and with loud voice, using powerful tone, pitch, timbre, and body language. If you're saying this incantation for 10 minutes, you're not aware, your brain started releasing dopamine hormone, and that dopamine hormone will create the feeling of accomplishment. And only the accomplished person has the perfect performance capability, because that is the person who is creating that dopamine is never ever in search of opportunity. They have the power to create the opportunity. So that is the power of dopamine, and how it created, just by exercises and incantation. And what is the third one? Third one is when we are helping someone, just by the thought, by words, by doing something in the lift, just placing the chair, just serving one glass of water, or one person is sad, just holding your hand on the shoulder and just saying, I'm there, don't worry, you'll be all right. Just words can create the miracle, and you are doing this not to get a very good image in front of others, but you are doing because your brain is registering yourself, and it is creating the hormone that is called serotonin. And the person who is helping others, they are always resourceful people, and they are never ever asking for attention or love or importance because they deserve it. So the third one to empower yourself is your serotonin. And for that serotonin, start helping others every day. At least before going to bed, you start doing something to your family members only. Fourth one, the wonder hormone. Love someone, touch someone, appreciate someone, say something very softly, very politely, very lovingly, not because they are feeling very good, but because your brain is releasing oxytocin hormone, that is love hormone. And that's how you can become magnet for the people. Now you are not after the family, you are not after the people, but they are after you because you have become the magnet. That is the power of oxytocin. Now God has given such a beautiful machinery, my dear child. You release your hormones, make you happy and healthy, and let people around you and start serving them. This is how we are made, but we are doing totally different. And what is the fifth magic? The fifth magic pill is meditation. Meditation is the mind. And this is the wo jari booty hai, that is the magic pill which empowers your genie, your mind. Because while you are doing meditation, first you are connected to yourself, your capabilities, right? When you are connected to yourself, you are connected to your creator, and you will feel a lot of gratitude. You are so much happy. And that is the magic, that is the miracle. If we are doing daily meditation, it means in 24 hours, if we are just investing 1 hour on ourselves, 40 minutes exercise, 10 minutes incantation, and 10 minutes meditation, now we are totally prepared not to serve ourselves, but to serve others. That's how we can complete all the 4 criteria of positive mental health. Can we do that? If we can do that, it's so easy. Just put the thumbs up. If you can do that, just put the thumbs up, right? Because if we are doing these 5 magic tricks daily, then we come to the status. खुद को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा खुद बंदे से पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. And with this note, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Amanda, thank you so much. Mood Cafe, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much and all the best.
Yes,
Thank you, Mrs. Lavanya Patel. That was a really nice talk. You have told us something that I took 10 to 15 years to learn in my therapy sessions. And yes, you made me remember the thing that one thought can change your life, and how important it is to look at our thoughts and challenge them and change them. And that's how I've been able to manage my disorder. Thank you very much. And now it's time to take up some questions. I would like to ask our most experienced mentors, one of the most experienced mentors of Mood Cafe, Mrs. Rupali Mobe, to please take us through the questions.
So the first question already we have covered, which they asked. The first question was, what are the factors affected today's generation for the mental illness? So what are the factors they are affecting to today's generation, that millennium generation, for mental illness?
You're asking?
Yeah, Lavanya.
Yeah, okay, right. So today's generation means the synonymous of gadgets, right? Gadgets means now you have stopped working from your mind, and now the gadgets have started working and thinking for you. Everything is available. Everything is available on the net. It means the younger generation is losing the creativity in the majority. Still few people are there who are still working from their mind, right? So number one, we need to take care of the gadgets discipline. Number two, because the life is becoming so sedentary for our younger generation, so the activity should be included in that. Otherwise no chemical release, then they are after the relationship, and the relationship is not there, it means the breakup is there. So all the current problem of the breakup and all these things are coming from because they are not working at all on their body, on their chemicals, right? Third one is all the junk food. It is creating a havoc in the concentration, in their study pattern, in their goal setting. It is they are losing their focus. So we discipline somewhere there. So whatever the current lifestyle they are leading, somewhere we need to create the discipline, and it is possible when they are child, because teenager people are not going to listen to their parents, right? So we need to correct all these things in the childhood. So if younger generation is taking all these places in the correct form, they are already very intelligent, but we need to work on their emotional intelligences. So my suggestion is meditation compulsory, because that is a nutrition of mind, because this is the first challenge. COVID is the first challenge, but we are not aware how many new challenges are awaiting. So we must be very, very mentally strong, right? So for that, meditation is compulsory and exercises are very compulsory. And at least 6 days a week, they need to eat food at home. One day is a holiday for their mother, right? If we can do this for the younger generation, I think we can create the difference in the world. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Lavanya. Is Dr. Peter is there? Dr. Peter?
He has to
Yes,
leave,
yes.
Dr. Rupali.
Okay, I will.
Yes,
Okay, I will take one question, then I'll go.
Okay.
I'll take one question.
Yeah. Dr. Peter, there is a question that is running behind earning rather than taking care of mental and physical health is a mental illness? Great question.
Well, I would say it all depends on our priorities in life. Running behind money can become an illness if it becomes an obsession. Yeah, if that's the all in all of our life, and we put all our eggs in one basket, and that obsession causes us more stress. See, money is supposed to give us joy, pleasure, happiness. But if running behind money is going to give us more stress, there's a big problem. Whether it's an illness or not, that I don't know. But it's all about perspective.
It definitely some wife has asked this because definitely husband is running behind it and she is not getting time.
Yeah, I don't know,
Might
but
be
yeah.
possible. Okay. Then another question: what are the steps for good mental health?
I think I've already answered that in my talk. No? In fact, that's a question that I saw coming in, and I answered that. Yes.
Okay. And last question, how can we understand the need of mental ill person? What are the needs that mentally ill person?
Yeah, so I think that's a very good question. In fact, when I saw it, I was hoping I would get a chance to answer that question. It's a very good question, very hard. So before we understand the needs of of a person with an illness, we have to look at ourselves and our prejudices. Because if we have prejudices, then we will not be able to see that other person for the way that person is. And I think that is the first step. If we need to understand his needs, we need to first understand ourselves and where we are coming from. Because very often we find society, families, friends are the blocks and barriers. I find a lot of doctors, they say, oh, no, don't go to the psychiatrist, because see, he'll give you mental medicines. So we find that the doctors themselves sometimes are barriers. So I think the first step is we need, the need of a person with mental illness is to have an open, non-judgmental, more inclusive society. That is, I think, one of the biggest needs. The other needs fall from there. See, whether you look at a person with a mental illness or not, I look at that person, he's a human being. So he would have whatever need a human being has, the person with a mental illness would have the same need. He would need the right to respect, the right to dignity, the right to freedom, the right to choice, the right to have good quality health care, the right to have access care, the right to be treated in a manner which will give him a job, give him a right to life. And I think these are the basic needs that are required. And if you look at the new Mental Health Act, the new Mental Health Act has actually encompassed all these needs. And now the journey to meeting these needs is large, is big, but together, and I think organizations all coming together, we can raise our voices to tell the government, hey, stop ignoring us, stop looking the other side. Mental health is important. Let's start focusing. Let's invest more amount. The amount that is earmarked, the budget that's earmarked for mental health is less than 1% of the total health budget. This amount needs to increase because we are seeing suicide as the #1 killer in young people. As you already said, there's the number of cases of mental health issues, mental illnesses are much more now than even physical illnesses. So there has to be a larger kitty available for mental health issues. Yes.
Yes, Hamisha, you want to say something? Yeah, unmute yourself and ask if you want to ask any question. Hamisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you ask.
Yes, ma'am. I'm liking so much this webinar, and I'm gaining so much knowledge about how to heal my mental illness. Ma'am, some steps for anger management.
Okay, is there anything?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yeah, I think Mrs. Lavanya, I saw I think you were on Facebook Live doing anger management thing. I think you can share something on that.
Yes, anger is just an emotion. Emotion, and the basic is I want to correct something. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If the focus is there, I want to correct someone, your intentions are very pure. But when it comes into the anger, it means before correcting someone, it's a procedure. First, connect to the person. Connect to the person means first create the rapport. Rapport means your emotions should set in to communicate, right? And if your rapport is built up, your connectivity is there, and then you are asking for something or you have started giving some suggestions, so that suggestion is going to be acceptable. But again, I always focus on your personal thing. If I want to communicate someone, but I'm choosing the style of anger, it means I'm harming myself. The first duty is take care of yourself. You want to make the things done, various ways are there. But anger is harming me. And if the work is already done just by my anger, but work is done, but what about me?
Yes, ma'am.
If in the whole day I'm doing anger for 4 to 5 times in the night, I will be assigned as an angry man. And people will start thinking like me. And then it will be very difficult for me to change my attitude. So again, take care yourself. That is the first priority. Respect yourself, love yourself. If you want to convey something, you have variety of things to convey. So convey means the thing should happen, but before correcting, connect. That is the way, and various other ways. Sometimes we can take the anger issues also, the anger management, to where we can give the details of that. Yeah?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Now, Aminda, all questions are done.
Okay. Yeah, so all good things come to an end, and so this webinar. But the celebration of mental health should continue throughout the year. And I feel talking about your mental health with others, it can be one of those things. So I would like to thank our chief guest for today's evening, Dr. Peter Castellino. He had to leave because he's got his own event in maybe 20 minutes time. And for accepting our request and being with us and really sharing a lot of light on today's topic. And I would also like to thank Mrs. Lavanya Patel, the guest of honor for today's evening, for telling us so much about mental health and the key factors and the different steps we can take for mental health. And what I loved about both the speakers was they spoke about mental health for everyone. You know, people say to me, I don't have mental health, you have mental illness, so these programs are for you or for those with mental illness. But I think mental health, everybody has mental health. And I don't know, just today hearing you all speaking, I feel even Mood Cafe we say is only for those people with mental health issues. But I think we should have groups that are open to everyone and we can impart knowledge about